week in Hyderabad. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar visits Tirupati Tirumala temple on the occasion of Vaikunta Ekadashi. On the South Indian, first up is our tributes to legendary singer P Jayachandran, who passed away. The country mourns and tributes pouring. Second story is a political debate. Pawan Kalyan differs from CM Chandrababu Naidu on the Tirupati stampede. In a tragic incident, 72-year-old man dies by suicide after being denied health benefits in Karnataka. And it's a Friday, so Charan starrer Gamechanger creates a star at the box office. Alright, that's our main story, our tributes to a great artist, great son of the soil, P Jayachandran, 1945 to 2025. He was one singer who shall forever be remembered for the romance in his voice. Singer B. Jayachandran, who passed away at the age of 81 in Thrissur, shall be evoked for his expressive singing, which exuded youthful charm, and age never ever diluted that exceptional quality that he possessed. He sang over 16,000 songs in Malayalam, Tamil, Kannada, Telugu and Hindi. Jayachandran lived and worked in an era of yet another giant of a musician in Malayalam cinema, that being K. Yesudas. But then so gifted was he that he created a niche for himself not only in Malayalam but sang some iconic songs in Tamil as well, and launched the careers of many actors, foremost being them, the late Captain Vijaykant. Jayachandran was born in Ernakulam to renowned musicians and developed an early passion for various forms of arts, including Kathakali and playing the mridangam and chenda. Jayarajan burst upon the screen with his song in 1966 for the film Kalithoran. Apart from his romantic song, which seemed like such an easy feat for Jayachandran, everybody who has heard Jayachandran and is a fan says that if ever there was the sweetest lullaby a man sang for his lover on silver screen, it was Rajiva Nayane Neevarangu from a film called Chandrakantam, which was composed by a Tamil music director called M.S. Viswanathan. Much like romance, devotion was also Jayachandran's forte. For example, one of the most popular devotional albums in Malayalam called Pushpanjali, which moved many devotees across the world. P. Jayachandran was the recipient of several awards, including the J.C. Daniel Award and the Kalai Mamani Award, the National Award, 5 Kerala State Awards and 4 Tamil Nadu State Awards. The nation mourned the passing away of a maestro, and many dignitaries paid their tributes to a great musician. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on social media platform X wrote, and I quote, Shri P. Jayachandran ji was blessed with legendary voice that conveyed a wide range of emotions. His soulful renditions across various languages will continue to touch hearts for generations to come. Pained by his passing, my thoughts are with his family and admirers in this hour of grief. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, paying tribute to Jayachandran, said, P. Jayachandran's passing marks the loss of an irreplaceable cultural icon who defined the essence of music and emotion for generations. His voice transcended boundaries, infusing music with unparalleled warmth and expression. More than a playback singer, he was a symbol of artistic excellence, leaving behind a legacy that will resonate for years to come. Heartfelt condolences to his family and admirers. We at News 9 pay our heartfelt condolences to P. Jayachandran's family and pray for his soul to rest in eternal peace. The next story which is coming up is a political debate. Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh Pawan Kalyan differs from CM Chandrababu Naidu on the Tirupati stampede. What is the story? Let's tell you. Alright, so that's the story. Pawan Kalyan's differing voice on Tirupati stampede. What is the story? After all, if you dissent, It is absolutely fine in a democracy. But on a tragedy, well, raises several questions. The Vaikunta Dwara at the Tirupati Tirumala temple opened today for darshanam 2 days after a tragic stampede at the ticket counter booth which resulted in the death of 6 while causing injuries to more than 50 people. Meanwhile, the TTD, as a special gesture, arranged a special darshan for victims of the stampede on the instructions of Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu. Naidu took stern action and said that there were gaping loopholes in the coordination amongst officials and said that the administration is expected to be battle ready for a situation like a stampede in the future. Chief Minister Naidu also cracked the whip on erring officials and suspended DSP Ramanakumar, who opened the gate without prior announcement, and K. Haranath, who's the director of the Gaushala, who was in charge of the token distribution center. Also, 3 officials were suspended for failing to ensure coordination between the TTD and civil administration. Most importantly, the Chief Minister has ordered a judicial probe into the matter. But you know what? What is making the tragic incident a tad complicated are the mixed messages. Even as Chief Minister took strong exception to the lapses in the accident and said strong steps should be taken to prevent such incidents from happening in the future, he took steps to see to it that not only the message was decimated, but also heads rolled. But the Deputy Chief Minister, Pawan Kalyan, spoke in a different voice, but not before taking moral responsibility for the stampede at Vaikunta Dwara Sarvadarshan. Pawan Kalyan actually apologized and said, and I quote him, "We deeply regret this unfortunate incident. The state government takes full responsibility and seeks forgiveness from the injured, the families of the deceased, devotees of Lord Venkateshwara and all those who hold Hindu traditions dear." Having said that, Pawan Kalyan then highlighted issues which are at variance, I think, with what Chief Minister Naidu said. First up, he insinuated that there could perhaps be more to the stampede than meets the eye. He said, and I'm quoting him here, "There are doubts surrounding the stampede. Some believe it may have been planned. This angle must also be thoroughly examined as part of the investigation." The truth, ladies and gentlemen, however, will be out once the judicial probe is over and the report is submitted. Second, Pawan Kalyan trained his guns on the TTD top brass, which Naidu has avoided doing so far, and took stock of the entire situation instead. The Deputy CM blamed the top 3 of the TTD, Executive Officer EO J. Shyamal Rao, Chairman B.R. Naidu and Additional EO Venkaiah Chowdhury. Pawan Kalyan said, and I quote, "This tragedy could have been averted. The TTD should prioritize the need of common devotees, not just VIPs." Even as Naidu suspended police officials, Pawan was completely unsparing in his criticism, highlighted the lack of proper crowd control measures despite the large number of devotees, and pointed out that there was no proper planning and also for conducting rescue operations during the incidents such as this tragic stampede. Let me tell you, this is not the first time when Pawan Kalyan has differed from the government. It is a carefully orchestrated strategy, some say, to speak in different voices. Or many are asking, is Pawan Kalyan asserting his position in a government which is helmed obviously by Chandrababu Naidu? Let's debate. Satya Bolisetti, General Secretary of the JCP, is with us. Karthik Yellapragada, National Spokesperson for YSRCP, and K.S. Prasad, Political Analyst. All of them are here. A very, very warm welcome to you, and on the auspicious occasion of Vaikunta Ekadashi, which for many of us is extremely auspicious considering we are all South Indians here. I want to first ask Mr. Prasad, considering, he's a journalist, and I need to get some kind of, perspective on this. Mr. Prasad, when there is a tragic incident like this, usually the government, all of them, I'm not just talking about the bureaucrats, Mr. Prasad, but right from top to everybody speaks in unison, in one voice. We are not going into right or wrong, but one voice. Particularly when there is a tragic mishap like this, where 6 lives have been lost, there is still crowd there, people will go tomorrow, people will go next year. When Mr. Pawan Kalyan says that there should be a thorough investigation, was it planned? I somehow feel that it also instills some fears in devotees and others, Mr. Prasad. Would you agree?
Good evening, ma'am, and good evening to the panelists and good evening to the viewers. Ma'am, you will always keep us in an optionless situation. We need to agree with you. That's what our South Indian rebel star is. Coming into this, as far as Pawan Kalyan, yesterday's verdict and today's confession in Pitapuram is concerned, he's always stood for the truth and he is categorically put down as far as TTD EO and chairman is concerned. They need to apologize to the people around. But I was in an illusion that yesterday, when Mr. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu was very much there and his physical presence as soon as the inspection has been completed and he has gone to the respective hospitals to take care of the situations, and after that, the first decision of Chandrababu Naidu, I was expecting that he spontaneously suspends TTD chairman and EO, because by the time EO steps into the shoes of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, all sort of ruckuses are taking place and all sort of unnecessary blames, and for all which he is giving all sort of explanations. This is a total failure of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, particularly as far as Vaikunta Ekadasi is concerned. Today, instead of people will always believe that if we have a darshan on Vaikunta Ekadasi, definitely after death we'll go to Vaikuntham. But unfortunately, today they have opened the doors directly to the Vaikuntham. Who all comes for this? The TTD chairman.
You agree. You agree. So, Mr. Prasad, you agree with what Pawan Kalyan says, that it could be planned? Are you saying that? Where he's insinuating that there is something more than meets the eye, Mr. Prasad?
Yes, absolutely. Because the Pawan Kalyan has opened his third eye today, and what he said was 100% right. Because it is when some proper coordination was there, definitely the executions will definitely
take place. That even Naidu Garu said. There is lack of proper coordination.
Mr. Naidu said for the sake of Naidu. But whereas Mr. Pawan Kalyan said, not at the cost of people around.
But you know, the moot point, Mr. Prasad, the moot point is to insinuate that it was pre-planned, there could be an investigation. That is, I want to apologize to JSP and also to Pawan Kalyan Garu for saying this. This is fear-mongering, sir. Everyone is going to Tirupati every day. Satya Bolisetti, Satya Garu, please come in here.
Give me one
go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Prasad, please.
I'll tell you one thing. It is a conspiracy theory. I'll tell you one thing. When the Vijayawada floods were taking place, they have a prior notice 22 hours. Even if you really look into the chairman's voice yesterday, day before yesterday, he categorically said some conspiracy as far as these crowd gatherings are concerned. It is a pure negligence of the people around. The rescuer is nothing but Superintendent of Police of Tirupati. If you really recollect, more than 3 to 4 lakh people are gathered. Nobody is bothered to give proper protection. Hardly there are 4 to 6 police people are around. And a mob of 50
That's
plus
a failure.
People.
Failure of administration, complete mismanagement. Satya Bolisetti, I agree. But the way
between EO and chairman, which was going on from months together, this has caused to this. Normally, Sarvadarshana tickets have been closed because of the independent decision of chairman. Number 3, the coordination, Superintendent of Police, Collector Sir, EO, TTD JEOs, and chairman should take a collective decision for Vaikunta Ekadasi. Nobody has participated in that. This is the biggest challenge. That was the reason this damage has taken place.
All right.
Because of culpritness of TTD chairman.
All right. Satya Bolisetti, please come in here. All I'm saying is, Naidu Garu also pretty much said lack of coordination, no planning. Also, heads have rolled. He has sacked people. He has transferred people. He's used very strong words. When he went to visit there, he gave them a piece of his mind. My point is that then separately, the Deputy Chief Minister talks about, a conspiracy theory, then which I think personally is not done. Already the Laddu controversy, many people are very scared to go there, say we don't want the prasadam. Now on top of that, there could have been a conspiracy. Number 2, he says the police is completely inefficient. He says that, the TTD top brass, they only give, importance to VIPs and not to ordinary people. All I'm saying is differing voices. Satya Garu.
Yeah, Sudha Sadananji, good evening to you and to the panelists. This is very unfortunate situation. 6 people have died and almost 30 people have injured, and a lot of inconvenience to all the devotees there. What actually, you're saying there is a difference between the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister. I didn't see any difference between 2 of their statements or their individual talks. What I see is that Chief Minister is gone ahead as an administrator. He has gone in deep into the administration, and immediate responsible person is the police there. He suspended him. And he is not given clean sheet to the chairman or the UOs or JEOs or whatever it is. He is in the investigation somewhat. But what actually Mr. Pawan Kalyan has gone as not only Deputy CM, as a person who took the Sanatana Dharma into his hands, and he always wanted the administration should be under the control of Dharmacharyas and all these people, not at why there is conflict, because there are two different systems. Because in other places where you go, other religion temples or this thing in Makkah or in Jerusalem, there is only the head of the temple only going to call the shots, nobody else. So everybody fall in line there. Here, what is happening is the designer and rules will be made by one people, and administration is done by other people, like our administration of the state or this thing, like any other. So here, what has happened? What has happened is what Mr. Pawan Kalyan said is that the executive officer and the AEO, additional executive officer, should have taken more care, so they are responsible for it.
Yeah, sure. But then you wait. No, because the boss, the chief minister, he has said there will be a judicial probe. Why not wait for the report to come? Why jump the gun? Usually deputy CMs usually don't do that. It's very earlier also you remember how he actually spoke about Home Minister Anita and said the police is not doing anything. All I am saying is it's a very strange thing which is going on. What kind of a message does it send? The message it sends that the government is not speaking in one voice. Satya Garu, I'll come back to you, I promise you.
Let me answer. Let me answer this question. Actually, having asked this question. See, the basic problem is the other day when Prime Minister was in Vizag, we were given proximity pass and we were asked to come to Superintendent office at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
But the concerned police there, they stopped us with the car pass and all. They said, no, we didn't receive this. See, what's happening is the old system and the new system there is a clash. All the entire the YCP tag is not gone. Because people are not completely
Why?
It's
your government. Your government. You should do something about it. How long will you keep blaming Jagan Reddy?
That's what is happening. See, that's what is happening. We have to wait. Another thing is, you are talking like this when the 8 people died in the religious place.
That's why I'm right. Satya Garu. That's why I'm saying you scare us. My mother is scared that was there a conspiracy? Oh God. Everyone is bothered, although the Lord saves us, but everyone bothers about their own life. I have to introduce Karthik Garu also. Wait, please. Karthik Garu, please come in. Karthik, I just feel that there is somewhere lack of consonance, as it were. Dissonance. There is dissonance. I am not saying that Mr. Naidu did not. Mr. Naidu, I am repeating. Heads have rolled. He did not take the name of TTD top brass at all. He's ordered a judicial probe, like it should be done, I think. Heads have rolled of people whom you can actually, apportion blame and said, you opened the gate, you did not do due diligence. But here Pawan Kalyan Garu is speaking about 3 different things. Was there something which, jiggery pokery, as they say? Was there more than meets the eye? The police was completely ineffectual. And number 3 is that how the VIP culture needs to go. I'm saying that when a mishap happens, whether it's a flood, whether it's a landslide, usually everyone speaks in one voice, Karthik Garu.
That's right, Sudhaji, hi. Thanks for having me, and hello to the rest of the panelists. Sudhaji, I think you'll have to allow me to speak for a couple of minutes because I want to lay out few quantitative and qualitative facts on the show. Starting with what Mr. Kalyan was actually telling, I'm not personally surprised because if you see his all statements over the years, there will not be consistency on what he speaks. And I think that is something which people knew.
Okay.
And also, Mr. Satya Bulshetty Garu is still thinking that they're in opposition. I just want to remind him that you're in the ruling government and I'm surprised you're talking this way, but that's a different story. I would like to lay out a few quantitative facts here, Sudhaji. The first thing, when you talk about Janasena, one of the 7 principles that they have in core in their website today is Matala Prastavana Lane Rajkiyam. That means we do not do politics in the name of religion. And that is something officially they've put in on their own website as one of their 7 principles.
Let's stick to the topic, Karthik Garu. I don't have the luxury of going here. I'm sorry, my apologies.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Now, coming back to the topic, right? The first thing is the few quantitative facts. For the last 3 years, 20 lakhs tickets were sold seamlessly with proper governance. In a 10-day period, 6.5 lakh tickets over many a time were being sold seamlessly. And now when we look at yesterday's issue, we keep hearing that the paper was not ready to print the tickets, and roughly about over a dozen of senior officials.
So there is mismanagement. Yeah, I get your point.
So 12 officials who were being transferred, madam,
Right.
And then who were able to do, and why is that? Why there is a political ambition of transferring few people from point A to point B? And not just that, madam, I want to bring to your notice that yesterday, what surprises me is that they have filed a case of BNS 194, which says that the whole offense of the 7 deceased or 7 people who were dead is because few people fought amongst themselves. Is this an irony? What's happening in the state?
Right, but that's a different topic altogether. So it was mismanaged. The crux of what you've said, I would like to take it that complete mismanagement. And this also, Chief Minister Naidu said that the crowd management was pathetic. He said this. I will again repeat myself. But nowhere did he train his guns so directly at either TTD or the police. He may have berated them in private, upbraided them in private. But I see there is a complete lack of synergy between what the Chief Minister is saying and the Deputy Chief Minister is saying. Prasad Garu, I want to come to you, sir.
1 minute, madam. Just 1
minute. No, I can't, sir. I will apologize. I only see this earpiece I wear. They tell me move on, move on. I don't have. I have to give everyone a chance. No, please understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Mr. Prasad, I'll come to you. Mr. Prasad, let me ask you that, a couple of months ago, you remember when Pawan Kalyan spoke about the inefficiency of the Andhra police and also targeted the Home Minister Anita. At that time also, I did a show saying that you are the Deputy Chief Minister, for God's sake. Why are you speaking like this? Then do something about it. Let's not get into politics. Let us talk about cosmetic surgery. Something doesn't work in your home, you go and plug the hole, no? You don't go around telling the world, oh, my house is all full of water, useless people live here. That's what I'm saying, Mr. Prasad.
It's quite surprisingly, they are not coming to a conclusion that they are ruling the government.
Yes.
They're still in an illusion that there's opposition party and they need to criticize Jagannath Reddy. This is what the cow story which was happening from last 7 months. And every month they're taking some sort of opportunity to blame Jagannath Reddy. End of the day, they're showing their blank faces to the people around. In this particular situation, everybody knows it's a mismanagement and totally an execution failure by the respective departments as far as the directions which were supposed to given by the people around. Sarvadarshan tickets which were supposed to deliver at Tirumala is not been, and it is got cancelled. And people given a different notice that everybody should collect their tokens, otherwise they will not allow into the Tirumala. This is the mistake done by B.R. Naidu, who happened to be the TTD chairman. He has taken a special discretions without giving a notice to the respective EO or whomever you name it as. Collector and including Superintendent of Police is not aware.
Mr. Prasad, that the judicial probe, let's wait for it. Let the report come. We'll have another discussion on that.
No, ma'am, it's not judicial report. Yesterday, if you really look into it, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, whomever he met with the people who are really sufferers, they have categorically said, we have been coming from years together. This is what used to happen. This system, all of a sudden, has created this sort of ruckus.
Fine, I agree. Maybe the system was all wrong. There was mismanagement, no crowd.
He was done a mistake. Mr. B.R. Naidu and he was done a mistake. Let them accept it.
No.
That's what the Pawan Kalyan.
So are you accepting? So are you, Satya Garu, do you concur with what Mr. Prasad is saying, that the way Janasena Chief and Deputy Chief Minister Mr. Pawan Kalyan has trained his guns, and which Naidu has not done so far, it's a fact. You see all his bites. I went through all the bites. This morning, that's what I did. He's not done it.
Sudhaji, first thing is, this is an issue which people are addressing to solve. And the person who came and put fire in it is Ms. Dr. Y.S. Jagannath Reddy. He came yesterday and he started saying that, this has never happened in the history of Tirumala. So this is a very sad incident. Very sad, fine. But, when the religious areas, religious crowd are coming, gatherings are coming, in 1954, there are 800 people died in Uttar Pradesh and Kumbh Mela. In 2015, 2,000 people died in Makkah. And 2021, 45 people killed in Jerusalem. No, only 3 incidents I'm telling. Because they're all the
You are right, Satyaji, because you are quoting data. You're absolutely 200% right, Satyaji.
Listen, let me complete it. Having said it, let me conclude. None of the occasions in none of the areas, they have not asked other religion people to come and play politics there. And Jagan Mohan Reddy, who started the dirty politics yesterday, which I objected, I openly vocal and gone on record. Because you asked Mr. Prasad, he is YCP.
Absolutely disagree to that. No, please don't
All
say
right.
that.
I don't want this.
I'd like to interrupt. I'd like to interrupt you there.
The credit, Mr.
Absolutely
Satya.
not.
That is your boss
And as
himself has said
Prasad Garu
something.
was telling, as Prasad Garu was telling, until now, B.R. Naidu
He
is not
doesn't
come
even know
out
how
and
to
he's
take a
not.
credit, Mr. Satya. What is this?
Absolutely.
After my
Then this
conclusion.
B.R.
You
Naidu
are saying
has not come out until now.
Let
and
Satya
then
Garu
held
conclude.
accountable.
Karthik, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me
Satya Garu, go ahead.
Mr. Karthik was saying that Pawan Kalyan is never consistent. So what sort of statement is trying to give? Who is he to qualify a person and about his personality, who the whole country is admiring, and this man is the genius man is coming and telling that he's inconsistent.
That will happen, no.
So,
That's
you
the
should
good
not-
thing.
no,
What
no,
happened
no,
with
no.
Laddu issue?
I will-
What happened
Ignore.
with
I will not
All
agree.
I'm saying
what he has
is,
done, with the
do
repentance
you,
diksha that he
do,
has
does
done,
Mr. Pawan
what will he
Kalyan
do
have a
now?
different,
Satya, tell me.
maybe he has just quiet, let me talk to Satya Garu. Please, everyone, quieten down. Satya Garu, I'm asking you, if it is good for the people of Andhra Pradesh, is Pawan Kalyan Garu saying something which is slightly different from what Chandrababu Naidu is saying?
It is always Pawan Kalyanji doesn't speak with somebody before he says something. What he said is, this is what he felt and he said it. And it is not wrong. What he said, there is a conspiracy. There could have been a conspiracy theory because earlier the Christian religion people and other religion people are doing a lot of business on top of the hill and all their shops are closed now. Because somebody would have created ruckus in the crowd. We don't know. We have to ask the crowd to be careful.
Remarks, fine. I've completely run out of time. That's why I keep requesting all you men that if you speak more than what is required, then the time gets quickly 30 seconds I'm giving to my friend, first to Karthik and then to Mr. Prasad, because I know Mr. Prasad will respect that 30 seconds. Mr. Karthik, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll use my best 30 seconds. One is that doing politics in the name of God is exactly what we're seeing now. This political nexus, what we're seeing now in the state, this is not a surprising, this is a forced marriage. I'm pretty sure that this marriage is going to be broken pretty soon because the inconsistency in terms of the leadership, because Mr. Kalyan has no influence with the TTD board and there's no proper allegation that has been established with
right.
B.R. Naidu. There's nothing
Let's
happening
wait
with B.R.
if
Naidu
the marriage
so far,
of convenience will break or not. Who are we to predict it? Mr. Prasad, go ahead.
You have two different voices, madam, and that's why I want to bring this objectively. This is
Thank
on
you.
record.
I
just want to bring this up.
Yeah. Mr. Prasad, go ahead. Mr. Prasad,
Ma'am, it's
30
very clear
seconds.
and evident that in the governance, as far as good governance is concerned, both Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister are differing with respect to law and order. This is what Mr. Pawan has continuously and repeatedly telling about the miserable failure of respect to police department. And today in Tirumala, the issue has occurred. Again, he is blaming the same. And as far as the voice modulations of Chandrababu Naidu is concerned, he said very clearly that it is a failure of coordination. But when it comes to the coordination, the proper support needs to be given by the police department. Unfortunately, they have not given it. And if they are differing means, it is very clear. When it comes to Pawan Kalyan's voice, the same voice.
Yeah, all the point I'm making is.
But again, he is differing with the same.
You can differ, but not over a tragedy, because it sends out fear amongst the common people. And Tirupati is for all of us. Whatever religion it may be. And I don't believe Christian, Muslim, it's for all of us. We believe in that God and we will go to that temple, and no fear mongering should happen. On that note, thank you so much, Satya Garu. Thank you, Mr. Prasad, and thank you, Karthik, for joining us on this broadcast. And the next big story is coming up. It's rather tragic. 72-year-old man dies by suicide after being denied health benefits in Karnataka.
What is to the nines? In literal terms, it's perfection. But to us, it's not just a phrase, it's an attitude. One that starts at your desk and sends a statement to the world. To the nines is about taking charge. It's a way of life where every seam, every fold, is crafted with excellence. It's timeless elegance and uncompromising quality made for the corner office. It's the ideas that inspire redefining order and elevating the tabletop. To the nines, for the leaders of today and the visionaries of tomorrow.
If it's a cancer, then what?
It's very distressing.
Anyone can have cancer.
मेंटालिटी है कि ये बीमारी मुझे नहीं हो सकती.
There's a thing called cancer is right inside me.
सबसे पहले जो होता है ना, डर जो होता है कि now at the end of the world.
My life went upside down.
Stigma associated with it, which is very scary.
In our country, more than 14 lakh people get diagnosed with cancer every year. Out of that, more than 9 lakhs die every year because of cancer.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Golf as a game, it is closest to the game that you call life.
You've got to use your mind. You cannot lose it.
The sharpest person is one who understands his limitations.
खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि खुदा बंदे से पूछे कि तेरी रजा क्या है.
You might have a bad break after a good shot. You might have a good break after a bad shot. But the fact remains, you got to play the ball from where it lies.
Welcome back. You're watching the South Indian, and now a very, very tragic story, but nevertheless, it actually, a lot of questions are raised over this and we have to address them. Denied healthcare benefits. An elderly man in Karnataka who was 72 years old died by suicide. What is this tragic story? Let's begin. Christmas brought death for a 72-year-old retired state government employee in Bengaluru who was suffering from stomach cancer. When the elderly man discovered that he would not benefit from the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, in short ABPMJ, that the union government had announced on 11th of September 2024, he decided to end his life. What can be sadder than this? And he was a cancer patient, which is already such a debilitating disease, and then dies by suicide because of the ineligibility under insurance cover. After his request for insurance cover under ABPMJ was declined, he worried that he would burden his son with the treatment expenses, decided to take the terrible step. The government under the ABPMJ had announced that all senior citizens aged 70 and above who applied for the scheme would receive health insurance coverage of up to 5 lakhs per family, regardless of income. You could be anybody. The deceased had enrolled for this scheme but was denied insurance cover. According to one report, he died 15 days after receiving the diagnosis. Soon after, he got the shocking news that the insurance scheme he had enrolled for could not be accessed. The senior citizens had carried the ABPMJ senior citizen card, but the Kidwai Memorial Institute of Oncology, which is KMIO, denied the benefit, saying that the state government orders for implementing the scheme had not yet been issued. Meanwhile, Karnataka Health Minister Dinesh Gundurao agreed that the scheme remains to be implemented and added that the state government had written to the union government in November of 2024 for clarifications before implementing, but he had received no reply. Taking to platform X, he said, and I quote, "In such a central scheme, ideally, the government should cover 80 to 90% of the cost, but now they want a 60-40 share and they take all the credit. We cannot bear 75% of the cost while they bear only 25%. I've written to the centre months ago, but there has been no response." Now, the Arogya Karnataka scheme was also launched in March 2018 by the Karnataka state government for providing affordable health care. The union government launched PMJ in the same year to provide health coverage to low-income families across India. So it's so great, the state and the union. So someone who can't afford it could have gone, no? But no, he's gone forever. When Ayushman Bharat rolled out, Karnataka integrated it with the Arogya Karnataka scheme, like I said, and they created a new entity called the Ayushman Bharat Arogya Karnataka to combine the benefits of both. Under the new scheme for the elderly announced in 2024, there are 25 lakhs 165 families and 33 lakhs 40 individuals above 70 years of age who are eligible to apply. All this sounds great on paper. My mother also ran and said, "I'll do it. You know, God forbid if something like this happens." But then why is it that an elderly cancer patient has to die by suicide? Because he was turned away for the insurance covers, which of course was in the first place introduced by both the state government and the central government. Who's responsible for his death? Let's debate. Satya Prakash is here with us, spokesperson for the KPCC, and GS Prashant, spokesperson for the BJP in Karnataka. Very warm welcome to both of you. What a sad story, Prashant. You know, a man on Christmas Day decides that he will rather die by suicide because he was turned away, and then now this politics has begun. Let me also tell the viewers that there has to be a revision. Apparently, the centre pays only 25% of this entire thing, whereas the state, that is the state of government of Karnataka, has to take in 75% of the burden. The Karnataka BJP, of course, has sharply criticized this and said that why was there no implementation of this, whereas the Congress sitting there is saying, "We wrote to you, but there's been no reply." Prashant, what is the way out? In all this toing and froing and ping pong ball, one man has died, Prashant.
Exactly. Our thoughts go out to the family, and the family has to get the strength to bear with that loss. And look at the tragic way it has happened. When the scheme was available to him legally, it's only due to the misgovernance that, and on an ego trip, the Siddaramaiah government is not wanting to implement the PM scheme. Why? Assuming that they didn't want to fund a portion of it, the CM has got discretionary powers. The health minister can spend on these sort of things. They could have informed Kidwa other thing to take care of the medical expenses. After all, he is covered under the scheme in one way or the other. If you're wanting to say the Karnataka scheme itself covers him, you should have given this cover under the Karnataka scheme. Why trying to blame the center, saying, look, you're taking the credit? It's not about taking the credit. It's being launched on a universal basis across the country, irrespective of
no,
the income
Prashant,
status.
but why hasn't the
center?
Prashant, why hasn't the center responded? I mean, Dinesh Gundurao wrote, your side of the kitty, you have to put no. You can't say, okay, 75% I will pay. What about the 25% that you have to pay? Also, the percentage is not commensurate to the population of Karnataka anymore. Satya Prakash, come in here, Satya.
See, Sudha, with due respects to that family who has lost a near one, okay, there's nothing in it. But let us understand why that life was lost. See, when Ayushman Bharat was launched, they said 60% center will pay, 40% you have to pay. But ultimately, when we implemented Ayushman Bharat, we ended up paying 75% of the total cost, and Modi's government paid only 25%. We didn't want a repeat. Even in Ayushman Bharat, you take a call, you send your correspondent to Jain Hospital, a prestigious Jain Hospital in Bangalore. Ayushman Bharat, they don't accept at all. The earlier Ayushman Bharat only is not accepted.
Why are they not accepting? But you as a government should come in here. You should not make it.
You please ask your correspondent Ajaullah to go to Jain Hospital tomorrow and check. Ayushman Bharat is not accepted in Jain Hospital. Please check.
All right, I will do that.
Myself accepted.
All right, I will
do that. Let the health minister
Prashant,
Prashant, directing them to do it.
Let us have a gentleman discussion here. On November 30th, the state government has written. This scheme came in September 15th or something.
Okay.
On November 30th, we have written saying that what will be our contribution and what will be your contribution. Till date, the central government of Modi has not responded to that letter.
It's not about Modi versus Siddaramaiah. It's about human beings, Satya Prakash. Come on.
It is about government policy.
Prashant, let me ask you, Prashant, do you agree that we have to relook at this scheme, boss? Because someone died. Like, it's a dead man. We are all sympathetic towards him. On Christmas Day, he decided to take his own life. Prashant,
absolutely.
There is absolutely no coordination that I see here. It is just that I wrote them a letter, he did not reply, a man goes. The Kidwai oncology says that no, it's not applicable, he sent back. Why was he sent back? When he was registered, he had a card also. He had a card, then why was he turned back? Prashant, that's the question we need to ask.
Exactly. That question has to be posed to the government to say, state government to say, once he's eligible and has got the card, if you had some differences of opinion with the central government saying how much money you should put in, first save the life, then go for this mathematical calculation saying how much money you should put. You should have directed
Prashant,
the hospital
Prashant,
to
when
cover
you go under some
the
insurance cover,
treat the patient and then go after finances. You are putting money ahead of life. You should not have done that. When the eligible beneficiary, Satya Prakash, you spoke about decency, maintain it now, let me complete. Satya Prakash, wait, let me complete.
Let him complete. I'm running out of time. Prashantji, please continue, sir.
Yes. See, when the eligible beneficiary having a valid and legally acceptable card visits the hospital, he should have been given the treatment.
Yes.
And then the state government should have said, look, we've also treated one patient here. We still don't know what we have to get. Now kindly clarify, reimburse the money.
Prashant,
the objective should have been to save the life.
Yes,
not
Prashant.
to
Maybe that is the ideal situation.
What Congress is indulging in.
Doesn't
Congress should
Modi
not have done
have
that.
minimum common sense that any...
What do you mean by common sense? Your state, sir, whether you are giving 75 or 25, like Prashant said, that what if he had a card, you treat him first and then you do all the official business. No, to now say Modi has not given, I am just saying your health minister should have been more cognizant. This is not the first time. He has to be more cognizant of the fact that for those who cannot, cancer is a very expensive treatment.
You have accused, you and Prashant have accused our government. Give me a chance to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. The victim's family itself has said that the government gave us 50% off on all our medical costs. So 50% was already given by the government. The problem was for Kidwai, we don't have a policy at all. Just because Modi one fine day tells that, Ayushman Bharat for elders have come, has he taken the consent? Have all the states accepted for it? What is the amount that the center will give? What is the amount that the state will give?
25% and 75%, we are all... Oh God, we are all clear about it.
I think he is going on a financial rhetoric. All that I'm saying is, lives are more precious than the petty politics Congress is playing. They are cancelling PPL cards. They increase the rates of OPD charges. And mothers and infants have died in Karnataka. The health minister doesn't even have the courtesy to visit them. And he makes this statement about writing a letter to Modi for 2 months ago. Why?
Also, all this, I can't shout more than this, please. Also, all this, I agree with you, Prashant, but all this is also working on outdated data. So everything has to be, look, if we as human beings have to improve the situation, then we have to see to it that we put politics aside and kind of the nuts and bolts have to be tightened. It's being worked on very outdated data. Karnataka has different data. The center is working on a different data for benefits. The health minister writes a letter. What is this? Let him make it. It should be happening. You can't write a letter and say, okay, it's now with the union. Sorry, I've completely run out of time. My apologies to both the gentlemen. Prashant, sorry. But thank you so much for joining us. I have to go to the next story. And also, Satya Prakash, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. Maybe we'll have a detailed discussion the next time. The next coming up story, it's a Friday. Let's all smile. Charan starrer Gamechanger creates a stir at the box office. All right, the Game Changer phenomenon. Ram Charan starrer Gamechanger has hit the theatres today, marking the actor's first solo hero film in 6 long years. The movie, directed by Shankar, shows Ram Charan in a double role, one as an IAS officer and the other as an activist. The movie, however, faced its own set of challenges before the release, as the Telangana government and the High Court intervened regarding the benefit shows generally scheduled for late nights. The Telangana High Court has also expressed displeasure over the high ticket prices. The hearing in this matter has now been adjourned to 24th of January. Let me now go across to understand the magic of it all with my colleague Sakshi Litoria. Sakshi, first up, tell us what the madness and the magic of Gamechanger is, quickly.
Absolutely, Sudha. You have already told our viewers to smile since it's a Friday. A very good evening to you and to all our viewers who are joining us at this hour here on News 9. Talking about the movie, of course, we know the typical S. Shankar style. It's not very cop related. It's not very typical straightforward rom-com either. It's never a straightforward, commoner becoming a hero in all of his films. This time around as well, you will see Ram Charan, the magnetic, the charismatic mega star in a duo role. But the script was a bit underwhelming for me. If I have to review the film, as per me, it was very touch of the Shankar. It has been outdated already. Kiara Advani is looking absolutely wonderful. Anjali is also there. The two actresses are over there. You will see though fans hooting, shouting and screaming in the theatre, something, the magic of cinema that we miss inside of the theatre. So that was my review, and that was the charisma of Ram Charan for you.
Absolutely, and Ram Charan once saw in RRR and go to the Oscars and the world over and kind of really move. So Ram Charan is one actor who is of course superstar in Telugu cinema. I want to also ask you about the entire controversy about benefit shows quickly, if you can take our viewers through as to what exactly was that. But I'll tell you what, Sakshi, no one is caring about all this. They are only bothered about the great film that has hit on a Friday, so that all of us can sit back and really whistle whenever Ram Charan appears on screen. You would have understood. I'm a great fan. Go ahead, but Sakshi.
Absolutely, and you look at the power of Ram Charan. He attracts people like you and me towards the screen. Now, wrapping up the topic of the controversy around the movie. There is no controversy as per se, but what exactly we saw, the celebrations turning into a tragedy on the night of December 4th with Pushpa 2 screening at Sandhya Theatre back at 1 a.m. benefit show that you have already mentioned at the beginning of this particular segment. Something related to that has happened. Telangana government has already taken a stringent action. They have said that no benefit shows are going to happen in terms of the movies which will be released in the states, except if it is about any social cause issue or if it is about patriotism. Apart from that, the film also has to, follow this particular rule of highlighting the advertisements related to narcotics, drugs, as well as cyber crime. And also the Telangana government has directed all the stakeholders and authorities to make sure that they are complying with this. Now, talking about the price hike issue, which is the much debated issue around this particular film. From the release day, which is today, the film was allowed to show the special shows of 6 in total. Till 19th January, they will be allowed to show 5 shows, which is something the High Court has also said that we don't really agree with. The hearing also has been adjourned till January 24th. We are yet to hear what exactly the court thinks about it. But till January 19th, Sudha, we will see the hike prices. Today we saw 150 additional to the normal ticketing price inclusive of GST for the multiplexes. For the single screens, we saw 100 rupees additional to the normal cost inclusive of GST. And till from 11th of January till 19th of January, we'll see 100 for multiplexes and 50 for single screens in the state of Telangana.
Tell you the price, Sakshi, is not really going to matter, because come tomorrow you are going to be live again and tell us about how it's made crores at the box office on day one of its opening. Also, this is Shankar, who's basically makes films in Tamil. This is his first Telugu film, and if you recall, he made Mudalvan, which is about a chief minister, how an ordinary man becomes a chief minister for a day. I just want you to also concentrate on the double role of Ram Charan. Is it really working for people? Because somehow this whole double role thing is seen in the past, right? I mean, we remember Sridevi's Chalbaz, and Sita or Geeta, even earlier in 1971. But then this, Does it really work and go well? I'm very curious about it.
I would say, in my view, Sudha, it's a bit outdated concept, but
Yes.
it's a mass entertainer film. If we talk about South Indian film, it's all about music, how the visuals are appealing, how fans are actually accumulating to the theatres. They are shouting at the top of their voices. Specifically about this movie, I would say, like, the people and netizens are already claiming that Gamechanger is going to be life changer for Ram Charan. Like you have already mentioned, that he has come after 6 years of long hiatus. This is his solo project. Last we saw him in RRR also. It was also there in the headlines. We also saw the Oscar success with the movie. But at this point of time, I did think that, the concept was a bit outdated. The script was a bit underwhelming. It was not the Shankara style thing that we usually see. It was nothing new for me, but could be new for a lot of people.
All right, but on that note, thank you so much, Sakshi. I'm sure this is going to change the game at the box office. You and I shall have a cup of coffee tomorrow and speak about the box office openings. Yeah, that promise. That was Sakshi, my colleague, talking about this Gamechanger film, which is crackling right now. With that, end to the South Indian for this week. But then, next week is just 2 days away, the weekend, and then we shall meet on Monday with stories from all parts of South of India. Until then, Vanakkam.
What is to the nines? In literal terms, it's perfection. But to us, it's not just a phrase, it's an attitude. One that starts at your desk and sends a statement to the world. To the nines is about taking charge. It's a way of life where every scene, every